Closing is always easy when you're in Cardone U. We role play with Grant Cardone's team. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the FLC Hangout, where your freedom lifestyle begins. Today, we are talking about time management and productivity. Yes, indeed. So if you want to get better at managing your time, if you want to feel like you have more hours in your day to do stuff and really skyrocket your productivity, you're going to want to stay to the end, because we have some hot tips for you. Before we get started though, make sure you're following us both on Instagram. I'll put the handles somewhere on the screen, and our joint FLC podcast Instagram. So yes, without further ado, Misty, over to you.
Oh, I just want to mention, keep a lookout on Spotify. We are now on iHeartRadio. You can listen to it there, stream it there. So it's getting out there to several different places. So check everywhere, because we're coming to you.
I'll put the links
We're
down
gonna
in the
find
description.
you. We're gonna get you. Anyway, so time management, Josie. This is so exciting.
So exciting and so important.
Yeah. Do you have time? Do you have problems managing your time?
I used to before these tips.
Right.
The thing is with my problems is I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I truly believed that I was doing everything in my power at the time to be able to schedule out my days properly. And then this just took it to the next level. So looking back at it, yes, I did have problems.
Yeah. Before we get into these tips and everything else that we've learned, I want to bring up something that keeps coming into mind that I think it was Grant Cardone that said. He says everybody has the same 24 hours, right? It doesn't matter if you're switching time zones or whatever. You still have 24 hours. There's 24 hours in a day. And you're sitting here thinking, well, the multimillionaires, well, they do more, they get more done, and they've got more time. No, they actually have the same amount of 24 hours you do. It's how they manage that time and how they use it, how they make it work for them that makes the difference. And it's I lost what I was going to say there, but that's okay, because it'll be back. It was important. So one of the biggest things is that he says is control your time. Don't manage it. Don't manage the time. And this is what I was what I had forgotten. But it's still kind of a lesson to me, kind of hard to learn, because us women, we like to multitask. And when in reality, you don't really multitask. Nobody can multitask. That's a computer term. It is not a human term. So a computer can do several different things all at once, right? We can't. We can start something. We have to physically stop that action to start another one. That's not multitasking. That's starting one and starting another one, right?
That's so true.
So yeah, you got to get that out of your head. Oh, I can multitask. No, you can't. It actually slows you down. It doesn't speed you up.
Yeah, I think that's a big mindset shift around being able to control your time, or control your time, not manage it. Because if you really are controlling your time, you're in control, right? That's so much better. That's a much better position than trying to manage loads of things. You are controlling not only your time, but what you're doing in the time of what you're doing, if that makes any sense. Like it's a mindset shift. I tried to merge the words there. Save time. Talk about controlling time.
Good job.
But, that is exactly that. You need to like you said, you are doing one thing at a time, and you need to focus on that to be able to control your time the best.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you want to feel like you're multitasking, do what Grant does. Stop eating lunch with your coworkers. Stop having dinner with your coworkers. Go out on your own, meet new people, make new clients. Period. Then you can feel like you're multitasking because you're not only getting a lunch in, but you're marketing, you're not marketing, you're networking. So you're getting those other people coming in, right?
Yeah.
Filling your pipeline. And I know this next one, Josie, I know that this is something you've implemented, and I would like to know how well it works for you. It's scheduling your day into 15-minute blocks and seeing how much you can do or get done in that 15 minutes. So how well has it worked for you?
Oh, I love this one. I love it because I am really someone that used to be like, okay, I'm going to book out 2 hours to sit down and do this. But am I actually doing it for 2 hours? No, I'm doing it for a few minutes, and then I grab my phone, I'm scrolling on TikTok for 10 minutes, and then I do it for 5, do that to go on Instagram for 10. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, I have 2 hours here. I have time. Like, this is easy. I have time. But when you really schedule 15 minutes to sit down, and actually what Seb does is he has a timer that he can see on his desk right there. And he can see the time going down. Such a good idea. You can see the time going down. And it just, the amount of focus it brings over you is crazy because, and you get so lost in what you're doing. When you know you have 15 minutes, you're like, right, let me just bash out as much as I can in 15 minutes. And more times than not, I will go over the 15 minutes. I don't recommend doing that all the time because then you're just going to lead back to the 2-hour thing. But it has worked insanely good. And the amount of stuff I can get done now, I surprise myself every single day.
Yeah.
So what about you? Have you tried implementing this?
I don't have enough patience to implement this. I am still working on my patience.
Interesting.
I think that even if you still have 2 hours worth of work to do, and you're like, I have 2 hours, a good solid 2 hours. Okay, I think implementing this with a 15-minute blocks, block that 2 hours out, 15 every 15 minutes, and give you that 10-15-minute break in between. You can still get 2 hours worth of work done. It may take a little bit longer, but you're going to realize that you accomplish more, and it may end up being less than 2 hours. If you focus those 15 minutes, if you completely put your focus in and do, as much as you can in those 15 minutes, you'll be surprised at how much you get done. And no, I have not implemented this because I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, honestly, because I'm one of those people that I feel like once I sit down and I'm focused and I'm doing something, I completely lose track of time. I'm so focused on what I'm doing, I forget about, I got to get up and do something else. And then if I do, I end up procrastinating to come back. So this is something I plan on working on. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely get that as well. And this is also why I love having the timer there, because sometimes if you are like Misty, or a lot of people will be like this, you will get distracted and you will just want to keep going. Sometimes you will have to force yourself to, physically stand up and walk away from your desk or wherever you're walking. Physically remove yourself from the area. So when you're sitting there, it is a very mindset thing that once you're sitting at your desk, it's subconscious, but it'll help you are working, not doing whatever, which I love.
Yeah. So the next thing Grant does is schedule time for your family. So you need to, in your day, every single day, block out time for your family. Okay, this is when I'm spending time with my family, and my focus will be on them. Family, friends, in that time. That way you can still get enough done as far as business goes, but you have solid foundation and connection with your family and friends, and you're not feeling like, oh, I'm doing so much work and I'm missing out on them. You want to get the best of both worlds. So you need to control that time and really block everything out in the most productive and best way for you, right?
Mm-hmm. So important. And if Grant Cardone is doing it, it's all of these tips, by the way, are taken from Grant Cardone and the team that we train with. So that they are legit, and we do
They
it
work.
too.
Yeah, and they work. I may not get it down yet, but they work.
Well, and that's okay. That's actually something I was
Yeah.
going to say earlier too. So thanks for reminding me. Is it's okay to not perfect all of these straight away. It's very much progress over perfection. Even if you start implementing a tiny bit of each of these, you'll see a huge difference. But what I was going to say about this one is, don't feel weird or bad about actually putting it in your calendar. This is time for family. My calendar, like if I could show you right now, I have breakfast in there. I have leave the house if I need to go somewhere, like the time I leave. I do it to the T, so that I have the day planned and there's no room for like this like unsureness. So physically put it in your calendar, your time for family, and it's so important. Comment below. I will make time for my friends and family.
Yes, comment below. I want to bring up the fact that how amazing and powerful it is that you add in breakfast and family and lunch, because a lot of us, we get too busy and we forget to eat, or we forget to take family time, or we forget to, hey, I need to block in walk or exercise, because we need to be able to stay healthy, mind, body, soul, everything, in order to be able to work and get to our dreams, right? That freedom lifestyle. So I wanted to just say, I think that's so powerful that you block it out like that. Breakfast, because like I said, sometimes we get so busy or so focused on everything else, we forget. And we are the most important person in this is ourselves.
Yeah. It's the foundation, right? And the foundation is the most important. So take time for the little things that aren't so little.
Yeah. So, and then, a good thing about doing this is when you're blocking out those 15-minute time blocks, you can really, like we've said before, focus on a certain task. Don't walk away from that task leaving it unfinished. If you know that this is your last 15 minutes that you blocked in, finish it. Don't do things in pieces. Finish one project before you start another one. It's really going to keep your focus and keep things clean and professional, and it's not going to be scattered because you're like all over the place. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Don't leave to tomorrow what you can do today. And that's the same with anything, the task you're doing, or even the dishes. Like, don't make sure that if you can do it there and then, which I'm talking to myself here because I don't have this down packed 100% either. If you can do something, do it. Don't leave all these open cycles. Close your cycles.
Yes. And keep statistics. Track everything important. Okay, now we were on the sales rally yesterday, Cardone training sales rally yesterday morning. And one guy said to keep track, he said this, keep track of important things. Keep your statistics. He says all the good stuff. I think even the bad stuff is something you need to track as well, because that shows you where you need to work, things you need to work on in order to improve. So I think you should be taking statistics on everything, track everything. That way you know where you're really strong and you need to work, things you need to work on. So track everything. Have you started doing something like that?
Yeah, so yes and no. I think as a company, FLC and in the core family, we've started doing that using a database, monday.com. If anyone is wondering, it's amazing. And to be honest, at first we we took some time to get used to it and actually track what we are doing. And it's not perfect still, but no one ever is. Like, so as a company, we have been doing that, and I think it's really beneficial. Like, you can really see everyone's success, and then the company as a whole success. Me personally, yes, because I look at myself of what I put into there, but I could do more. Myself, really track everything I'm doing would be really beneficial. And I'm gonna hold up my hand and say I'm gonna start doing that. And I encourage everyone watching to also start doing that.
Yeah, I think that's something we can all improve on. And you remember those days when Monday was down and we couldn't do anything on it? I'm like, I'm having Monday withdrawals. This is just not right. Where's Monday? I need to put everything in there. Oh my God, it's gone.
Yeah.
Because it's so good at tracking everything, and you get so used to putting everything in. When I'm doing something, I get into this routine where if I'm on my computer, I do the same things all the time. I'm a creature of habit. And I noticed that if I do that in Monday, every little detail that I can think of that, okay, I'm going to forget about this, even though I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to remember. No, I know me. I forget it. So I put it in Monday. And I've had somebody else say, oh, you don't need to put that in there. Just mark that you did it. No, I'm going to want to know when I did it, where I did it, how I did it, on what platform, who was there, who wasn't there. I need to know those things so I know exactly where I'm at in whatever deal I'm working with. And if I'm not the one finishing off that deal, then the next person knows, hey, this is where this is going. This is what's happened so far. And they can pick up and move on from there, right? So I love
absolutely. This will save you a lot of time in the future, going back and wondering, what did I do there? I know everyone can relate to that. So yeah, love that one.
How about, do you keep a full schedule, a full calendar? I mean, I know you're pretty busy. You're pretty busy, whether it be with FLC or something else. You're a pretty busy person. So I'm kind of curious.
So I try to, because I don't know which step this is, but or which tip.
Keep a full calendar, even if you have to come up with creative things to do.
There you go. So Grant says, have no white space in your calendar. So me personally, I really try. So to answer your question, yes. Sometimes there's times where I am sitting there and I'm like, I should have planned something to do here. But yes, so if you look at my calendar, maybe I'll put a little screenshot up somewhere on the screen. It's every single hour to the 15 minutes is filled from when I wake up to when I finish my work day. Not always do I stick to it entirely because things come up. But yeah, I am pretty busy, like you said, which I love. I absolutely love. Ever since I've implemented this no white space and keeping a full calendar, I can do so much more than I thought I ever could. So I love it. What about you?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to using a calendar because I have most of my life has been, we're going to live in the right now. I'm not going to think about 5 minutes from now, because it used to be where I would try to plan things out and have things planned and okay, and I could keep to a schedule. Then my ex was like, no, we're not doing that. He's not one to keep schedules at all. So anything I'd ever planned was out the window. So I'm kind of have to get back into that, where plan it out, stick to the schedule, because that's where I feel most comfortable. I just have gotten so far out of it and not been allowed to do it that I haven't done it. But
go back into it. I love it. And like Grant says in that tip, even if you have to do something creative, like make up something creative to put in a space, just make sure there's never anywhere where you're just like for an hour you're like twiddling your thumbs there. Like, you can always be doing something, even if it is you schedule half an hour, go take a walk. That simple. Like,
what do you think about that?
Changer, that one.
What do you think about that quote that Cardone says, "The devil's in the white space"?
I like it. It's very, so a lot of what Grant will say is very like to the point, and sometimes
Yeah,
people will get a little
he
bit
doesn't
like,
sugarcoat it.
yeah, he doesn't, which I love, but it's not for everyone.
I think our favorite one so far is "Don't be a little bitch."
Don't be a little bitch. I have that on my computer right now, just to
I have it
remind
on my
me.
phone.
Yeah, it's a great reminder. I love that one.
It is.
But the devil is in the white space. And what he means by that is where your productivity will just, and if you don't want to avoid that, don't have white space in your calendar, which means, by the way, nothing
You
to
don't
do.
have anything plugged in there.
Nothing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's also that saying, idle hands is the devil's playground. It's the same basic concept.
Yeah.
If you're not keeping your hands busy, if you don't have your schedule booked out, everything booked in, it doesn't, like you said, it could be something really simple as just take a walk for half an hour. It's keeping yourself busy, because what happens is if you're not doing that, then you're allowing for doubt to come in. You're allowing for a low confidence. You're allowing for procrastination. Something's going to come in and just bump you off of your routine and get you out of going on that path of your freedom lifestyle. So you got to have everything booked in and booked, plan it out, people. Just plan it out.
Absolutely. Have you ever, sorry, before we go on to the next one, I know we have so much to discuss, which is exciting,
Yes.
but have you ever, I'm talking to you, obviously you, Misty, and everyone watching, had like 5-10 minutes spare, go on your phone, go, me being Gen Z, I go onto TikTok or I don't know, Facebook, Instagram.
I'm not even Gen Z and I do it.
I'll just scroll for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then I'll get back to work. An hour, 2 hours later, 3 hours later, I'm sat on my bed still scrolling. This is what we mean. Don't let yourself have that free time to think, oh, I'll just take that. Unless you have scheduled out 15 minutes, take a break, and then you have something actually to do after that 15 minutes. So
yeah, and what good idea is, if you're going to plan book something like that to take and just kind of scroll or be on social media, set your alarm for the end of that 15 minutes. Okay, this is it. I got to get back to this. This is important. I've done that. I've had my fill of that. Now let's get back to this. So Grant also says to go to bed early. Now, I think that's kind of hard for us in the FLC, because we love what we do so much and we love helping people so much, and they're all over the world, so different time zones. That's really hard for us. I have to say, because I haven't been able to make the morning meetings at 1 a.m. lately, I do fall asleep. I still fall asleep like really early. Yesterday I was asleep at like 6 p.m. Just kind of, but I was so, I was so exhausted. That and then I'm up again at 1, 2. Lately it's been 10:30 p.m. So do you go to sleep early?
No. So like you said, with our team, our core family being all over the world and having clients from all over the world too, I feel like this one is very much something we can talk about, because we know a lot, we've learned a lot, we've studied a lot, and we know it. However, implementing sometimes, and I know I can talk on behalf of a lot of the family, including Chabaria mainly.
Yeah, Chabaria, definitely.
Yeah, is implementing this one not so much, and Misty has an insane schedule, because trying to fit all our
Chabaria's is worse than mine though. Sometimes it'll be like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. She's like, and she told us she's getting off and going to bed at midnight. And then 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, she's still texting and posting and doing stuff on. It's like, aren't you supposed to be asleep? Yeah. Are you doing this in your sleep? How do you manage that? It's look at my face.
If you're watching this, comment below now, Chabaria. get some sleep because
yes, Javaria, please rest. Drink your water.
yeah, please rest, please look after yourself. No, but it's funny, it's our whole family.
We all do it.
But besides that, like, we know it's important. It is important.
Yes.
Because if you go to bed early, you can wake up early and still get your 8 hours, some people 7, 9. And sleep is so important. And I saw actually a TikTok the other day that was like, this man gets a lot of like questions about why do you go to bed at 9 p.m? Like, that's so boring, like, how do you do that? And he's saying, well, realistically, what are you doing from like 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. if it's not scrolling on Facebook or going on TikTok or just moping around? What are you doing? Like, why? You could be sleeping and resting and all this. So
yeah, well, we have a tendency to stay up in the core family and be working. But like you said, we know how valuable it is to get enough sleep and to really take care of yourself and your body. So we may not get sleep at night, but a lot of us are getting those 7 hours sleep during the day. I will sometimes, I'll just be like, okay, guys, I try to be up when they're up and do everything when they're doing it. And then I can sleep during the day when everybody else is going to bed because they're in different time zones. I'm the only one up. You know, if I'm up during the day here in the Pacific Northwest, I'm the only one in the company up. So I will try to be up when they're up, do everything when they're doing it. And then when they go to bed, I can go to bed. And so we all know how important it is to stay healthy and make sure you're getting enough sleep, drink enough water. We hold each other accountable. Find somebody to help you, hold you accountable. Grant Cardone also says, not only does he want you to go to bed early and make sure you're getting enough sleep, be the first one in your neighborhood up. Now, I love this. I will do this even if I am not doing business in FLC. If I'm not working in FLC, I will still do this because I love to get up. I will get up at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, go out and wash my car, work in my garden. Because I live in an apartment, I don't like other people watching me do stuff. It's just, this is different because I don't see you watching me. But if you're living around me and you're watching me, or if you're like at a party or something or a restaurant, I don't like that. It's like, I'm shy. Leave me alone.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I go away. It's like, I'm not in a fishbowl. Go away. This is not a zoo, you know. But I will do stuff. Yeah. I'll do that stuff in the mornings, and I'll get up and I'll be productive that early because it makes me feel more comfortable. Have you ever done something like that? Just get up early, be the first one on your block up?
Yes, and I love the feeling. I've always said I don't the getting up early, a bit hard for me. The being up early, like,
well, you're Gen Z, so you're still young.
But here's the thing, like, it feels impossible to get up when my alarm goes off like early. But 15 minutes later, once I'm up, I'm like, this is fine. Like, I was so dramatic. But there's something. Okay, how do I say this? The 4 hours in the morning, let's say like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. are not the same 4 hours as 11 till 3. Like, if you get up at 11 and work till 3, as if you're doing something from 6 a.m. You get up, work, by 10 a.m. you've done so much. Those are not the same 4 hours. Like, the level of productivity and inspiration and drive you will feel in the morning, you're just going to have to trust us on this one. If you haven't done it, try it for a week and see where you end up. It's gonna work magic.
I find that when I get up early like that, I'm more productive throughout the day. I can get more done. And with that being said, the next one is get things done long before required of you. So an example is, like, you do this. I know you do this. So when you're traveling from one place to another, or you're waiting on something, you're doing business. I know you're like traveling on the train and you're on the meetings and calling, texting people and following up on stuff. I know you're doing it, so it's like that in a way. If you want to feel like you're multitasking, that's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Even though you technically multitask, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's I love it. See, I love doing that because that's part of what keeps my calendar like full, and I just feel so much more productive when when I'm doing that.
No, it happened.
Yeah, no, it just, it's that thing again of reinforcing how much you actually can do if you put your mind to it. And it feels so weird and awkward, and thinking about it gets like hard. It feels hard to think, oh, while I'm on the train, I'm going to do this meeting, or I'm going to follow up with people, or I'm going to do this. It's really not. Get your phone out, send that message. It's like, it takes this amount of time, and that's part of what makes me feel busy, but like good busy. And I absolutely love doing this. So if it is the hours of your workday and you're out and about on a bus doing nothing apart from watching the people going by, maybe you're, I don't know, looking at their nice shoes, do some follow-up. Like it's great. I love this one.
Yeah, it'll even if you have that long wait and that long train ride or something, and you're doing something like that, it passes. The time goes by a lot faster because you're focused on something else and you're busy. So I love that. Josie, I thank you so much. This is so incredibly awesome. I love this topic. There is a lot more, guys, to learn about that. So hit us up if you want to know more.
Comment part 2.
Yes, it could be a part 2. I'm not promising anything. You gotta ask for it, right? You gotta let us know.
Ask and you shall receive. By the way, like as well with any topic in business, what you're struggling with, let us know. We would love to be able to do a topic and make a podcast for you. So yeah, let us know. But yeah, thank you, Misty. I love this topic, and I know this is very powerful for any entrepreneurs or anyone listening.
Yeah, this can really help you scale up your business, controlling your time instead of managing it. And with that, guys, we would love it if you would like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, because it will help us out. It will help us get out there and be able to help other people, other entrepreneurs who would like to either start their business, or who have it but would like to scale their business and really be able to become more productive with their time. Let us enjoy us. We will see you next time. Thank you so much. And we welcome you to the FLC family, where you're family for life. You can't escape now. Bye.
Bye.